see what happens. Try it. And she tried that, and the panic attacks went away and stayed away. And it's phenomenally effective. And all that stuff about the cause of the panic attacks doesn't get you to walking around the park at lunchtime. But as soon as you start asking the question about what do you want and when does that happen already, there it is. It's not always quite as boom boom as that. But that shows the kind of thinking these two fundamentally different routes have. So, building up our diagram. One thing we might look at, the red stuff, by the way, is the Katizo stuff. We might look at the causes of the problem and why things are wrong and the weaknesses of the people that are leading to it. But much more useful in a Rutenso way is this bit, new piece of the diagram. This is signs of what's working already. This is the useful change happening in the past that I spoke about. Everything that's already working, that's got you to where you are now, and is pushing in the direction of where you want to be. You see how this lines up with the better future over there? So these are two subsets of the past. They both happened, but one of them, this one, is much, much, much more useful, I suppose, than the red one up there. Building up the diagram. Here's a really neat way of finding some of that useful change already happening. You can do it with your classmates, even your professors, your family, whatever. You've heard about the idea of a scale from 1 to 10. That's a very common idea. Let's imagine a scale from 1 to 10, where 10 is like the thing that we want, a better future, and 1 is absolute rubbish, and really bad as it could possibly be. And there's a question, of course, about, so on the scale of 1 to 10, where are you right now? And people say, oh, I'm about a 3 on this scale from 1 to 10. And if you're thinking in a Katizo fixed universe world, you'll then proceed by saying something like this. Well, what's stopping you getting to 10 then? How come it's not a 10 already? You can do that, but that's looking at what makes it hard. Rutenso, you can be much smarter than that. And you can say, 3 out of 10 already. Why so high? Of course, the implication isn't that it's really high, but the question is, what is getting you as high as you are? How come it's a 3 and not a 2 or a 1? What else? What else? Build it up. And this just shifts the attention off of that and onto this. And you do this with somebody who's grappling with the situation and see what happens. And stick them on it. Don't let them say, oh, nothing. That's not thinking about it. Think about it. You said you're at 3. Why so high? And then lots and lots, pile those up, lots and lots and lots of them. And then the next bit of a Rutenso strategy would be this. We'll take you one step up. Not all the way. That's what you big step. We'll take you one step up. Small actions. And this is very, very, very surprisingly powerful. It's ridiculously powerful for something so simple. And we find ourselves using this in organizational change processes all over the world. Here's another example of finding what's working. Sometimes there are things that would work, that are working but you haven't noticed. This is a story from the book The Solutions Focus about an Italian chemical factory. Problem was that the workers wouldn't wear safety glasses. Yeah? You know, in a chemical factory, it's really important to wear protective clothing because there's dangerous chemicals splashing around, and of course, if you get it in your eyes, it's really, really bad news. Going blind is no fun. But these are Italian men, and they're very proud, and they don't like wearing safety glasses. And the management said that people won't wear the safety glasses, they don't care about safety, their culture is nothing to do with safety, it's dreadful, we must change the culture of the workers to a safety culture. And I said, yes, bold ambition, sounds quite complicated to me, and long, and expensive, and hard work. Let's have another think about this. What do you want? We want workers to wear the safety glasses. Okay. Tell me, when are the times when they wear glasses and they don't strictly need to wear the glasses? Remember, we're talking about Italian men here. So when are the times when Italian men wear glasses when they don't strictly need to? In the sun, right, when they're shades. Preferably when they're cool shades. So here's an idea then. What happens if you get the safety glasses made not to look like this, but to look like shades? Wrap-around mirror shades, actually, was what we went for. And so they replaced all the boxes of these safety glasses with other safety glasses that look like wrap-around mirror shades. And now they wear them all the time, even when they don't need to, and they pinch them and take them home to wear outside. That's a different problem. But safety-wise, it's a better problem. So that's an example of, you think slightly laterally, you think, well, what is there that's working here that we're not using yet? And you find all of a sudden this huge safety culture program becomes simply a matter of buying different glasses. That's it. End of problem. Fantastic. Okay, back to our diagram here, building it up again. I want to talk about the comfort of the plan now. Because here's the classic way of doing it. If you treat this as a goal over here, we then want an action plan to do it. How are we going to get there? Strategic Planning 101. I did an MBA degree many, many years ago, and we had a very nice strategic planning module. There was a quote on the front from Peter Drucker, very well-known business writer, very respected, so which went something like, strategic planning is easy. It's about where you are now, where you want to be, and how are you going to get there. Fantastic. That's exactly it. But there's a snag, isn't there? Who's done a strategic plan? I did. Once upon a time, PhD academy. 5-year strategic plan. How quickly does it go out of date in real life? Yeah? How quickly? I don't know, is it days or weeks? One? But it's out of date pretty much as soon as the ink's dry. And it goes into a drawer, and then next year you do another one, because it keeps everyone feeling comfortable. That was the conclusion I came to. So, I'm not saying you shouldn't do strategic plans, but I think we need to seriously rethink the idea of it's possible to do this sort of long-term planning. And of course, the strategic planning people know that deep down. But I'm going to take a controversial view here and say I think any of this planning for how you're going to get there in any kind of complex situation is doomed to failure. Be very careful about what we set as our goal. And, because I think that goals can put you in jail. Now that's the English spelling of jail. So I wrote it down in the American one at the bottom. Doesn't quite work as well. Goals can put you in jail. Goals can be a prison. Here's an example of that. Because you have a goal, and then you're supposed to meet it, right? You had an experience, you set yourself a goal for the year, and then and then you're supposed to meet it, otherwise you'd be a bad person. And there's 3 things happen. One is that the goal turns out to be much too difficult. You ever experienced that? Yeah. And then you get 6 months in and it's so impossible that you just give up. Another version is the goal is far too easy. And actually, after 3 months, you've already made much more progress than you should. But what do managers do in that situation? They start slowing down, otherwise it would look too easy. And if you're very lucky, the goal will stay possible and relevant for the entire year. But that hardly ever happens in my experience. So, rather than the prison of the goal, we're going to be looking at an alternative strategy. But before we do that, I want to tell you a not terribly well-known story about this company. The faculty will probably have seen this logo. For the students, you may not remember it. This is ICI. Stands for Imperial Chemical Industries.